black sheep. Proverbs chapter 22. Proverbs chapter 22. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and love and favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and the poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. By humility and the fear of Yahweh are riches, and honor in life. Thorns and snares are in the way of the forward. He that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich ruleth over the poor, and borrow, and is slave to the lender. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. He that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. Cast out the scorner, and the contention shall go out. Yea, strife and reproach shall cease. He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend. The eyes of Yahweh preserve knowledge, and he overthrow the words of the transgressor. The slothful man say, there is a lion without, I shall be slain in the streets. The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of the Yahweh shall fall therein. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. Bow down your ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply your heart unto my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within you. They shall withal be fitted in your lips, that your trust may be in Yahweh. I have made known to you this thing. I have made known to you this day, even to you. Have not I written to the excellent things in counsels and knowledge, that I might make you know the certainty of the words of truth, that you may answer the words of truth to them that sinned unto you. Rob not the poor, because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. For Yahweh will plead their cause and spoil their soul. Of those that spoil them, make no friend with an angry man, and with a furious man you shall not go, lest you learn his ways, and get a snare unto your soul. Be not one of them that strike hands, or of them that are surety for debts. If you have nothing to pay, why should he take away your bed from under you? If you have nothing to pay, why should they take away your bed from up under you? Remove not the ancient landmarks which your fathers have set. See you a man diligent in his business. He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. I read to you today out of Proverbs chapter 22. Let me give a salute to the Mashpachah that's coming inside of the chat. Shalom to you, sister Naomi. And I see one other person, but I don't see your name, but I want to give a salute to you. Give a salute to you. Today we talking about the healing of the black sheep. Man, a lot of people hear that and they think that they are black sheep. Well, we're going to put that to the test. There are many black sheeps. A black sheep A black sheep is one of the ones that's not always heard out. A black sheep is one of the ones that's always picked out, to be picked on, to be criticized. Uh, Not saying this to slander anybody, slander my mother or my father, anybody, but there are some of us, we think that because our parents, they won't let us do what our other siblings do, we feel like, well, we the black sheep. Well, you right, you the black sheep, but your parents may have had a good reason why they didn't let you do what you wanted to do. But at the time when you wanted to do it, you didn't see nothing wrong with what you was doing. So your parents, they made sure that you didn't go that route. But there is a thing that has been attached to our people, where if you wear locks inside of your head, people treat you like you was a criminal. You know, when you are angry, people may treat you like you're a criminal, like you did something wrong, like you deserve to be punished. You could just be sitting down on the bench somewhere, and somebody out of the blue, dressed in blue, or come up to you and try to bother you because they see you got locks in your head, or because they see you not the complexion for the protection, and they'll come up and bother you. You know, some of y'all may be on jobs y'all working on, and it may be somebody that come up to hinder you, to stop you from getting your work done. All you want to do is come to work and go home, but they got their mind set up on, they plan for you is, while you coming to work, their job is to try to come and attack you. You may be friends with somebody, you giving them 100% respect, but they giving you zero respect. They the opposite of what you giving. They giving you nothing but the uttermost disrespect. All they want to do is see you broken down. That's their job. They get paid on their job, and the boss ain't looking at the wicked ways that they treat people, because they got the protection for the protection. But I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to encourage you today. You know, they got the complexion for the protection, but I want to encourage you today to understand this right here, that Yah said that whatsoever a person do to you, that's what's going to be done to you. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk about this subject. And I just got off the phone with my wife, and she told me, sweetheart, why don't you go ahead and talk about this right here? Why don't you go, and I'll let y'all know. So that's the title up there, and I got a subtitle, and I'm going to ride out on both. The subtitle is, you need to start your own business. Everybody is not going to be treated fair. Now, if you working on a job and you being treated fair, and you're complacent with that, you're happy with that, okay. But my daddy always told me, he said, son, you need to have an A and you need to have a B. Because I always wonder, why do people work on two jobs, and the two jobs is paying the same thing? Why not just work on one job and still get paid the same things for security? Because you never know, somebody might wake up the next morning, and because you were standing a way that they didn't like, they did all they could to get you fired, and they might even succeed in their efforts to try to destroy you. Okay, Sister Naomi, I tell her, sister. But a lot of people don't understand this right here. You know, they look at your situation and they think they got you all figured out, but they don't understand the sacrifices, the things that you had to go through with. You know, they don't understand. Some people, they wanna walk in your shoes, so they trying to tear you down. They trying their best to destroy you, to take your place. And they see other people doing that, and they compliant with it, and they okay with it. But they not understanding that once they steal your seat, once they oppress you out of your seat, the same people that was compliant with them attacking you. The same person, all of them, that's in line trying to get that one seat from that person. Well, guess what? You in the seat now. And what you did to somebody else, somebody is bound to do to you. Now, I started reading on something, and it's going to tie into what I'm talking about. I started reading on something, and we read, and after I read out of Proverbs chapter 22, I want to hit on that a little bit more. That people don't understand. Like in the midst of them trying to tear you down with all of the crew of the people that's trying to assist to tear you down, all those people that's tearing that person down and you right along with them, when they get inside of that position, them same people, they wanted that position. They didn't care nothing about you. They didn't care nothing about you in America, and all of the people that's in America and in North and South and in the islands in Europe, wherever you at, y'all all need to listen to this. So I'm telling you that doing your best, it's a lot of people that's doing their best. You got this clique over here, they call themselves the MAGA. You got this clique over here, they call themselves the LG. You got this clique over here, they call themselves the All Life. But everybody is trying to fight for control. Everybody trying to fight for power. And when they get hit, when that person get hit and they take that person down, guess who next in line? Because they wasn't fighting for you to be in control. They side with you. With some people, they're side eye because that person ain't got to worry about them. They at the bottom of the spectrum. They're attacking people that that will be a better fit for the job. So that person to get side-eyed and attacked because that person is a threat, and the other person that's attacking with that other person, they feel like, well, you might be a threat, but because I feel like, I got to hang on this thing, I'm going to just attack that one person in charge. That's my main ticket, because we all trying to get to be inside of the high seat. See, they're not like the wise men that sit down and wait to be called up. They want to fight and take the seat. So those are the ones that fight to take the seat. And then everybody get inside that seat, they got to deal with the scorn. But when you put away the scorn, as we just read in Proverbs chapter 22, a wise man don't like to be around scorn. A wise woman don't like scorn, because when you're around scorn, that's not going to be sufficient. For when you get up there after a lot of people done tore down this person. That's why I don't like to watch the elections on no election, because people, I believe, every 4 years they all start a defamation campaign, and whoever can win the defamation campaign, a legal defamation campaign, they get to be the one to sit inside of the seat. So anyway, what I'm trying to tell you, that's why I was reading to you about your name. The scriptures say it's better to have a good name than all of the riches and silver on the earth. A good name should be chosen rather than all of the money that people can get on the earth. And I to this day, I cannot understand why people feel like defaming other people's names so that they can put their name on the top is going to actually catapult them to a place where they want to be. Let me go down and read this right here, what I was doing the other day, because this is about the black sheep right here. All right, so let me pause for a little bit, and I'm finna come in there. All right, now this is the part that I didn't get to, but if you was on my other video, all of the files and everything, I've already laid them down underneath the video for you. But this right here, is the definitions United States Census. All right, let me turn. I didn't want to turn on it like how my mic sounded the other time. All right, so let me read from the top. The legal and social structures that define white Americans and distinguish them from persons who are not considered white by the government and society have varied throughout the history of the United States. Race is defined as a social and political category within society based on hierarchy. What is a hierarchy, family? According to historian David Routledge, by the 18th century, white had become well established as a racial term at a time when the enslavement of Israelites was widespread. Roger has argued that all the renaming of people was for social and political hierarchy and for control. So not taking this serious, you're not understanding. If you're not taking this serious, you're not understanding the seriousness of allowing this right here to happen to you, and you're not going to try to reclaim who you was, because evidently Yahweh thought it important that everything had a name. According to historian David Roger, by the 18th century, white had become well established as a racial term at a time when the enslavement of Israelites from the tribe of Judah was widespread. Roger has argued that the construction of the white race in the United States was an effort to mentally distance slave owners from slaves. So they made a proclamation. They said that's not how it is across the water. So this right here is a specific story to a specific people going through a specific thing. What does white do? What is the implication of white? The process of officially being defined as white by law often came about in court disputes over pursuit of citizenship. So you have white people in this group that they're not a part of the 1%. They are treated, they're not treated like the 1%. So in reality, they treating people who come from Adam like dogs. You bite when I say bite, you bark when I say bark, and the only thing we giving you is a sense. You're getting your value is coming from what we say. Your value is coming from what we say. So we can keep you in a perpetual state of fighting against people that has no authority, not in the sense that people see it, but these people are the bottom on everything. So we ruling, but we gonna keep y'all busy fighting people that we keeping our foot on. And although you ain't paid, at least you white. The Naturalization Act of 1790 offered naturalization only to any alien At one time, there were some European races that was not considered to be inside of this fraternity. They were not able to be put inside of this fraternity. Rich folk came together and put together a class, and they put people where they said, this is where you SI gonna sit down somewhere, and they take it out on the people that don't have no strength to fight back. Only to any alien being a free white person. Let me ask you a question. How would you let a person, right, that you force to do more exercise and everything, put weights on them? It's against the law for them not to box with weights on. It's against a law for them not to box with having dirt thrown in their eyes. It's against the law for them to do all this stuff. That's how you feel like a man. How you feel like a woman that succeeded if somebody cheat. You know what I learned when I was playing football? I didn't want the team to be sorry. I wanted the team to be good because I wanted a challenge. But some people don't understand this right here. And why do you have to fight against other people when all you trying to do is succeed your own self, right? Why you want to fight against them? Because when you go home at the end of the day, you ain't going home with them. Check this out. To any alien being a free white person, in at least 52 cases, people denied the status of white by immigration officials sued in court for status as white people. By 1923, courts had vindicated a common knowledge standard, concluding that scientific evidence was incoherent. Legal scholar John Tiharin argued that in reality, this word is very small. I want to turn it around. That in reality, this was a performance-based standard relating to religious practices, culture, education, intermarriage, and community role in the U.S. All right. The 2000 U.S. Census states that racial categories generally reflect a social definition of race recognized in this country. They do not conform to any biological I can't say certain words, but I know what I'm reading. Anthropological or genetic criteria. It defines white people as people having origins in any of the original people of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. You see what they did? The Federal Bureau of Investigation, and in South Africa, they got a whites only part over there too, uses the same definition. The definition actually does vary and is published as a light-skinned race which avoids inclusion of any sort of nationality or ethnicity. So you blot out your ancestors' name so that you could be a part of this cult, so that you could be a part of this real cult, of this cult fraternity. The 1990 U.S. Census public use microdata sample palms listed Caucasian or Aryan among other terms as, so these is other people, grown men naming other grown men and other grown men's wives and their children as a pet, as a good dog. This is the rich folk doing this. They name these rich folk in the 1990 census, in the 2000, in 1790, uh, was treating them like good dogs because they said they wasn't a part of their fraternity, of their cult. Or Aryan among terms of subgroups of white. So this is the breakdown of they coding. Look, in their ancestral code listing by 2005, this is how a lot of people lost their biblical names. In U.S. Census, but they still know it, but they have subtitles for their original names. The designation, white or Caucasian, may overlap with the term Hispanic, which was introduced in the 1980 census as a category or ethnic separate. You hear me, grown people? Check this out. Key acts relating to whiteness. The legal definition of whiteness in the United States was has historically been shaped by immigration and naturalization laws, as well as key Supreme Court decisions. The Naturalization Act of 1790, my bad, limited citizenship to free whites persons, but they still was above. Let me talk to y'all because this thing ain't working like I wanted to work. So I'm finna just talk to y'all. But anyway, that's the situation. And you know, we can fight and argue and hit on one another all we want to, as if that's gonna change anything, you know. What I what I learned is this, right? And it's not that I just learned it, but learning a way to express it. It's hard to do sometimes. But what I meditate on is this. If Israelites don't have control over being oppressed and thrown inside of jail just for sitting down on the sidewalk or something, why is people attacking us when things ain't going right for us? See, it's almost like it's a your whole life existed for some people, not everybody, but some people whole life existence is surrounded around attacking so-called black people. Some people whole life existence, like I told y'all, uh it was something rough happened to me. I went down there to the bus station, and this guy just come out there with his with his gun on his chest and all that right there. You know how they do. They come out there bothering me, and all I was doing is sitting down on the bench, waiting to go inside of there so I could pay the money for my wife, so that she could have a monthly pass on the bus. And I was trying to pull the money together so I could get her on the bus. And while I'm sitting out there waiting, he was hyped up on rock, bothering me for no reason. And it ain't nothing to him. There's nothing that I could ever say that would express to him how dumb that is to just find somebody to bother. That ain't you can have. And so, what do it feel like to be the black sheep? A lot of people proclaim they're a black sheep, but they not no black sheep because they're not going through that right there. They're not just being picked out to be picked on by people just for sitting out. You know, and people say it's the same thing. No, this is not the same thing. Everybody is not going through the same thing. Everybody is not going through the same thing. And every time we do that, a trick is played. Not that something was going to get done to help us anyway, but a trick is played where is that it's some so-called black people that say, hey, everybody is going through this. Everybody is hurting. Everybody is going through that. But when somebody else is laying out their complaint, and they say DEI, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. And when they started shutting down DEI, they found out that it was really going to affect them. And now all of a sudden, now they saying we made a mistake. But when it was on when on so-called black people, everybody was gone. They was ready for it. They had the smoke. They was going in. I'm telling you, you know, people was going in. They wasn't no let up on them. Who say there's somebody gonna listen to anything? If you don't reverence, if you don't have no compass of right and wrong, what's gonna stop people from just bothering you? So I'm gonna try this one more time. Nah, matter of fact, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Come back up here because they might knock me out again. But that's what I'm talking about. Now you in the workplace, it's already hard. You're already not getting paid a livable wage. Guess what? In the 90s or in the 80s, when you got paid, you was able to pay your bills. $100 was worth money back then. You know, rent was like $100 back then. You feel me? So getting paid minimum wage, if you was getting paid $7 an hour, you could take care of your family. And if a person was getting paid $15 an hour, they was more comfortable. And if a person was getting paid $25 an hour, they was really comfortable. And if a person was getting paid $80 an hour, they was extremely comfortable. But then when people start writing up things and people start getting hurt, now nobody's comfortable. And you go inside of a work environment where everybody's already stressed out, juiced up. They already stressed out. And then you got another thing you got to deal with. Somebody hating you because of you was born and you look a certain type of way because of something that was signed 17 and 1900s ago. And they still treating people like this before you even born. It's not fair for everybody in this country. Rent done jumped up to about $2,000-$3,000. Wherever you go, rent is up to about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $8,000. And the economic situation of my people done got worse and worse and worse. And people just it's like they're not understanding. It's like they don't want to understand. Why don't y'all just continue to mix us in so that we could take everything and pretend like y'all getting something and then try to silence y'all because y'all speaking up and saying yes, y'all is getting it. I walked down that. Look, listen, I went to the Section 8 just to check on it. I walked to the Section 8 housing just to check on it. And they say it'll be 2 years before Section 8 open up. And I looked up the status, and I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm just trying to tell the truth. And why should I come on here and lie? I looked up the status, and it say that the people that they say benefit from these programs the most is not the one that benefit from it the most. Because they think that the only people that's in America is poor, and they got a sad thing. Everybody in America that's poor is not so-called black people. There's so-called white people that's poor. There's so-called Hispanic people that's poor. Why, when you go to the job to put on your application, and they ask you what race is you, that's telling you this the race is still on, buddy. They ask you what race is you, and if you put on that white, and I put on mine black, and then I say to you, I'm trying to explain to you that's racism. That's what racism is. It's people put inside of certain classes, and that this one is to be treated fair, and this one is to not be treated fair. So, in the process of people striking down DEI, Who is listening to the white voices? Who listen? If white people truly have authority with their mouth, like they say they do, like I heard a woman on there and a couple of men on there saying, "I'm white. This ain't supposed to happen to me." Well, guess what? Who been listening to your other people voice, the other sect of your people when they said this ain't fair? Because they realize that, listen, if black people ain't, if so-called black people ain't got no money like that, how we finna make more money? They ain't got more money like that. So guess what happened? So the other sect of white people that ain't being heard, that's your voice being silenced. So you say, I believe in freedom of speech, but do you agree with your people, they mouth being silenced by you voting against their freedom of speech because they said they don't like racism? They said they just want to live out their life and be at peace. They said they don't want to play this occultish game that's been going on all these centuries. But there's another sect of they people that say, hey, we want this right here. We like this. You know, we want this situation that circumvent so that we can pretend like we have some type of say so. So when you shut down your other people, what's gonna happen to you? Because you shutting down your own freedom of speech. See, if I ban if there's a ban on people from having rights inside of a bank to have money, if I ban them from having the rights in there, what's finna happen to my rights? Do you think my rights are gonna be secured? Now, look at y'all's situation now. Now, when I look around, let's turn around and look at this. You got Negro Sambo, shuck and jive, hop and bob, diddly bop, tap, shoe, dive, and Negroes that stand up against every single thing that they people stand for. I heard brother Philip Scott talking about how a sect of our people is being low down and dirty. They what was it? Brother Runaway Slave was talking about this as well. I heard it from brother Runaway Slave first, but I'm pretty sure that brother Philip Scott been talking about this for a while. But when you look at these tap and shoot, diddly bop, shake and drop, hop and bob, chicken shop Negroes that come out here to speak against everything they people need, as if that's finna protect them. Guess what? When the fox get done eating the sheep, guess who next, Negro? Because you do know that wolves eat foxes, and you ain't no real fox. You a Negro that pretending like you a fox. But anyway, there's a group of our people that make bank off of us hurting. They make $25,000 to $35,000 just to come out to speak. And a brother and sister that love you come online and talk to you for free, and you pay them if you can. I know that the labor is worth of his hire. You give if you can, right? That's a brother and sister that love you, you know. But when you look at this thing, it's nothing wrong with a person receiving a gift from somebody or somebody sending them something for what they're doing. But these Negroes know the economic situation that they people in. They go out and pull up 25, 30. How in the world is we finna get a Negro to come out and speak for us for $25,000, $35,000? $25,000. And when they leave, what apartment complexes do you see these sellout, Sambo, shuck and jive, and tap and shoe dancing Negroes put back inside the community? You see, shining shoes used to be an humble thing that people used to do back in the day. It was an humble way of living. That's not the ones I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the one that shine shoes because that's all the job that they had to do. That's not the one I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the man that went across that's the black person, the so-called black person, I believe in the 19 and 1700s that snuck on that airplane and flew to France and fought inside of their military and helped them win that battle and actually got extremely handicapped before he passed. He was a boxer. I heard a brother or a sister bringing forth that story. I think that was Sister Shakira bringing forth that story about the elder. Now he's an elder now today, and his line was murdered. He went over there and helped France, and France came to America and celebrated him. I believe came to America and celebrated him. He was actually a descendant of the slaves over here in America. So there's a lot of our people like Elder Olado Aquino that was also that went to Europe. I forgot what part he went to. I don't know if he went to Germany or France or one of them. Or the times when our people went down there to Germany and help the Germans fight and win that war. Not that we was the only one out there, but when they our people was out there. We didn't just pretend like we was out there. They was out there, and from reports that was from those days that the Negroes was being treated worse than the ones they said they had smoke with by the very people that they was fighting to help. And after them people got their victory, they went down there inside of our holy land, and then they got reparations for that as well. And the Negro ain't get no reparation, just a kick between the Tukis. And then they turn around and say you anti-Semitic for telling the truth. What you say? A Negro, just be quiet and nobody hurting you. This is befriending you by, and you see on the west coast of Africa that our people was named a Judah, and people trying to rewrite and script up history. You see what I'm saying? So like I say, what kind of friend is that'll try to change up a person's history so that they could be dumb walking around here like an ant that ain't got no place to next, like an old lost ant. Script away. And see, this is what Elder Muhammad said that was the cruelest thing that anybody could ever do. Destroy a person from the inside out. And sit up with all this money and wealth inside your pocket off of the enslavement of our people and say that you had 80 million some people and 500 some million people dying when you know that it was Negroes in the bottom of them ship. They said it was the Jews, the Judeans. But try to take a Negro place. Who was the ones that was getting murdered the worst down there in Germany when it was down there fighting? To protect those people that claim your identity. And when I heard on TBN Ministry that they say we need to give money to the Jews, and I remember digging inside of my pocket and I ain't hardly had nothing, and putting money inside of the envelope and shipping it over there. And when a Negro asked for a $5 break on a loan, he can't even get it. That's why the scripture said, if you don't love your own first, you're worse than an infidel. Who gonna love you, Yasharal? Shalom, Elder Berean Scholar. Sometimes I just put my head down and I just weep. I just mourn. Sometimes tears just fall down my eyes thinking about my brothers and my sisters going through all this hell that we go through with. Do that mean that I don't care about nobody else? No, that ain't what that means. But I see my people. I see my people. I cannot unsee them. I see my people. What we supposed to do? Come online and boast about all of the good deeds that we did for you, whether if you was European or whether if you was a so-called Negro? Or should we address this right here? This ain't hate speech. This ain't nothing to attack nobody. This is telling the truth. How come people have a qualified immunity to go out there and just lock up people for no reason? We see Brother Messi show the paperwork showing that he innocent, and they still say they want him to come in so they can lock him up. Let it go. Nah, that's too easy. That's too much like right to let the man go. Let the man go. It's too much like right. But we say But some of us say we need to forgive America. If we want to, why we just won't say God bless America and no place else? Why we just won't say I'm Sharon Stone cousin, God bless America and no place else? Vote for me. Why we just won't say that? And if you love your people that's crossed the water, they say that you is a nationalist. How you a nationalist because you love your own people? Is it okay for Europeans to love their own people? Can a man that's in America, that's origins that go back to England, can he say I love my people in England? Is he being a nationalist because he say I love my people in England and he want to send his daddy, his cousin, him that he found out that's his cousin, $35 to $45 over there? Is that anti American for him to send his brother? If a man that's from Cuba find out that his people is over there in Europe, over there somewhere, for him to ship his kin folk about $25 to $35 and say, hey, please, can y'all please treat my people right over there? Is it wrong for the Cuban to speak up for his people? What's wrong with them loving Sister Asada Shakur and letting her stay over there for a while? See, that's love, what they're doing in Cuba for Sister Asada Shakur. Armand, how can somebody say we put our hands on the flag 1 minute and say God bless America and no place else? And after that, we'll take our hand off our heart, and when our brother and sister get in a little trouble, we ready to throw away the key. We worse. We worse. Some of us worse than what we say the slave master was. And our accusation against our brother and sister, we ready to throw away the key before they even tell you what they in there for. Some of us, and that don't mean all of us. I'm talking about some of us, and we know that some of us do this. That we can find every excuse to say God bless America and no place else. Forgive slavery, but you can't forgive your brother that he can't pay you back $5. You can't forgive your sister, but you can't forgive your sister. I'm just saying. I know it's hard to forgive somebody when they creep, right? But you can't forgive your sister if she with your man that you was with, or she with your old lady that you was with. But you could forgive America for destroying your grandmother and your granddaddy, bucking him in front of all of the tribe. But you can forgive America. That's some strong love, man. I'm telling you. And if y'all say, listen to this, listen to how deep this is. If y'all say that the Gentiles can save by cleaving, not that they got to be saved by you, but through Messiah, but they can't hate you and be saved. If they can be saved, how much more your brother and sister? Oh, I got to throw away the key. The key that some of us will swallow the key. If it'll hurt us, some of us will hurt ourselves. Like the grandma and them say, spike, what they say? Strike yourself to smite me. That's what some of us will do. Because we say, God bless America, no place else. I remember growing up, they say, I grew up in Polk County, Haines City, Florida. Then Yahushua said to the woman, I was sent only to help Yah's lost sheep, the people of Israel. Amen. We can't see that. Some of us think that by Yah helping us, that means he can't help nobody else. That's not what that means. You think Messiah is going to be worse than the infidel? So when we look at this thing right here, why, in order for you to love everybody, you got to hate yourself first. If they got this mindset that every time you need assistance or you need a foot up, that means you got to tear down your people and then lift up that one. Why you can't just lift up your people and then you can lend a hand to them? Why you can't do it that way? Why we got to be tearing down on our people and then have somebody come out that got to get paid $25,000, $35,000, $50,000? just to come out and speak up and make that money and go back home and, and sit down somewhere inside their mansion somewhere. But you sleeping in the shack. You sleeping under the bridge, right next to the white man that they trying to tell that he better than you because he ain't got all because his complexion different from yours. You sleeping right next to the white man. Ain't that something? You sleeping right next to the white man that they telling him his complexion is the one for protection, and you sleeping under the bridge right next to him, and y'all got to share a pizza together. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? How people that's alcoholics can share the same bottle, but a rich Negro that just came in and made 35K off of whoever paid that money, where it came from, I don't know. But some kind of way they scrap it and pull it up, don't they? And if the Negro come and speak for free at given times, but what happened with the money though? What happened to the unfair housing? You see what I'm saying? Because when all of the houses is full, if you pay inside of that right there, that's a job right there that people can that contractors could be able to make more money. That contractors could come out and build up housing, and the government pay them. But what? No. We gonna pay to build more prisons. We not gonna think logically. We gonna pay 35 billion during the Joe Biden administration for prisons to be built, private prisons at that. Private owners, private citizens, private owners, private prison. No, we're not going to put money into building more housing, but we're going to build more prisons. And the conditions that people is in, hey, we can fill up the prisons even more. And the police say, I got to make my quota. So you have a donation box set up, right? You have a donation box set up. Should the officers get paid to slaughter and lock up innocent people? Or should they get paid to protect the people? What football team? See, this is what we need to understand. When you see a team working against your team, that's not your team. What football team, wide receiver, catch the ball only to run the other way? If I'm the defense, I'm not going to stop you. I'm telling you the truth, and I played on defense. I'm not going to stop you if I'm on the special team and you running the other way. Now, I might want to go inside the touchdown and just hit you while you're in there so I can get some points. But other than that, so I can build up my stats. But other than that, you running the other way and you're going to run out of bounds. Hey, I'm getting the ball back. So it don't matter to me. Just run it the wrong way, And that's what a lot of our people doing to one another. We running the ball the wrong way and say, look, I succeeded in what I'm doing. So this show me that y'all Negroes are just complaining. Well, Negro, you're running the wrong way. If I was on defense, I would let you run the wrong way. And I'm going to win. So run the wrong way. And I'll let you run it the right way a couple of times because I know we got a blowout. We got a blowout season. We got a blowout. The same thing go for the other side. We got a blowout season. Who are y'all voting for? Is y'all voting against Negroes? Wait a minute. When you send inside your ballot, is you send it to the Negroes on the four corners of the earth? So what team they on? See, this is what I'm saying. Like, the world don't understand that the world was given over into the hand of the wicked. They make money from privately owned prison. Exactly, Elder. Now, to the white people that's sleeping outside underneath the bridge, that got to find a way to charge up your phone. To the white people that's in the same position that we in, they gotta figure out how you finna pay money so you can get inside of a warm place to stay. To the white people in the same position that we in, what I'm asking y'all is, who y'all paying y'all money to? When y'all pay y'all taxes, Where y'all taxes go to? Do it go to Negroes? Do it go to your black friend that's sleeping outside underneath the bridge with you? Do it go to your black friend that you walk by every single day at your job? That you see come in and work with you on your job? Do it come from them? Is it a sin for y'all to get along some type of way? Is it a sin for y'all to live at peace with each other with as much as possible? And you know that it's not regarding to everybody that say that they white people, but I'm telling you that calling yourself white and black is practicing racism. Because first of all, you abolish your grandfather and grandmother's legacy and memory and name so that you could be a part of a black and white code. So any Negro that say that they black, you're participating in your destruction. Even if you're gonna suffer for it, at least be a man, be a woman, and suffer for it, calling yourself who you really is. If I was Yashmael, I want to be called Yashmael. And I'm going to pray that y'all give me some self-worth inside of myself. If I was Yapath, I'm going to pray that y'all give me some self-worth inside of myself, because it must be something I'm missing and lacking about myself, that I got to classify myself and actually distance myself from my origins. For what purpose? Shalom, brother NC Rockstar, NYC Rockstar. Salute, and I'm finna tell y'all this right here. And I want y'all, even if y'all don't understand, salute to the people that everybody think. Now, I'm not saying this, y'all, but it's some people that may feel this way. And I used to kind of feel this way until I had to walk inside of some people's shoes. Salute to the people that probably felt like I used to feel, but now that you're going through it, now you understand and have a more clearer understanding of this right here. Salute to the people that allowed themselves to meditate on what's really going on and say, you know what? This is stupid. I hate somebody because of how they look, because of the color of their skin. I hate somebody because somebody else told me to that ain't my daddy. And if somebody say something about your daddy and your mama, you probably want to fight. But you allow a grown man that you older than, or that your ancestors was older than, to put some labor on you, and you're not going to reclaim out of honor for your father and your mother your real name back. If we supposed to be the light of the world, then what do the other people, what should we be telling them? Should we be telling them, hey, you white? No, you not white, bruh. You're not white. If a person say, I'm an African, but I look inside the Bible and I see in the scrolls it say Kham or Sham, why would I continually perpetuate that stereotype that was classified in the 1700s, calling somebody an African? It's something that we need to think about. I heard brother Julius Malema say this right here. He said that South Africa is Azania. Well, let's call it Azania then. Let's call it Azania. Ancestors call it Ezrits, Arats, Asrats. It means nations, I reckon that's what it means. Ezrits. I'm Yisrael from the house of Yiqwaba, Yisraelite, Aman. And the prophetic writings of your ancestors, Negroes, children of the prophets, said that this, what you're going through with, is what would occur. That's what it say. What you going through with, they said, was going to happen to you. And this is how you going to know that this is you. Dabar Yam, tell you the signs. There's signs to look for. You know, you can look for a sign to figure out who is the Japhethite people. There's a sign you can figure out who to look for. How you know how to look for it? You first got to look at Yasharal first. And if you're not looking in the right place, you ain't gonna know who nobody is. That's why everybody's still saying black and white, and they saying be quiet, Negro, shut your mouth. Because they're not looking at Yasharal to figure out the signs. The scriptures say through the prophet, through the Nabayath Mashah, that by looking at the signs of Yasharal, that's how you know who they is. See, when your head knowledge of yourself is gone, Yah give you a sign. He give you a way of escape. Ain't that's what the apostle Sha'awals taught? That he will not put no more on you than you can bear. And in everything, he will give you a way of escape. So to escape the insanity is the truth. He said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. The truth shall make you well. The truth shall make you free. Set your mind free. Now, what did the apostle Paul teach? He said, if the destruction of my people meant the salvation and the wealth, the riches of the world, how much more will the salvation? How much wealth they'll get if the salvation, and if people do not understand this, it's because they're not looking at Yasharal. How come the slaves owe the slave master's debt and the slave master don't owe the slave debt? Do that make any logical sense? Why did our brothers in Haiti have to continue? And you know, it's an Israelite tribe that's called Haiti, right? Why did they have to pay France reparations when it was them along with us that was enslaved? Why did they have to do that? Why did our brothers and sisters in Al-Kibulan have to pay masters reparation? But the slave master ain't supposed to pay them no reparations, and they set overseers out there to make sure that this thing gonna stay like this right here. The only way that fairness can be brought forth is we got to pray. But we cannot be the one that's siding with Hashatan and think that we is a part of Yahweh's kingdom and think that we are the servants of Yahweh while we fighting against him. I pray for our brothers and sisters in the music industry, in the movie making industry, in the sports industry. I pray for those who cleave and don't hate our people for no reason. I pray. Why would I pray for somebody that hate my brother and sister? If you hate my brother and sister, I ain't praying for you. I pray for those who don't hate my brother and sister. I pray for those who don't scorn at my brother and sister. I pray for those who know how to talk to our brother and sister. That's the one I pray for. I don't pray for the one that teach my brother and sister that they ain't worth nothing, but I pray for you. So I'm finna leave it at that, Mashpaka. About to get up off of here. Thank y'all for coming. And if this right here did anything for you, please remember to like and share. Family, help me grow my channel because I got other things that I'm trying to do, and I can't do it without my brother and sister support. I need y'all support, and I know that y'all need my support. We all need each other, and I'm finna leave it like that. I'm about to get off of here. I pray that this right here has been a blessing to you. Shalom.